Boxing fans. Yo, this fight, the Davies, Geovante Davies versus Ryan Garcia fight. It's crazy because I felt like anybody that even watches boxing, just a little bit, like you don't even have to be one of the pundits, just a little bit, and you're not emotional. I think the outcome wasn't surprising. Like I didn't have to. I don't like making prediction videos, anyways. But for those of my homeboys that I talk to, my friends and people who hit me up on Instagram, like, hey, who you betting on this fight? It was kind of obvious. You just had to bet early enough to get the best odds. I knew this fight was going to be a knockout by Geovante Tank Davis just because Ryan Garcia just didn't have the experience yet. He's still kind of green. He's not all rounded yet. He's still kind of green. Just look at the footwork. As I was watching this fight, I was just looking at two things because I kind of knew who was going to win. I was just looking at their legs and I'm like, oh, just the wrong style to beat a guy like Davis. Davis is like a cobra. He's a counter puncher, but it's counter puncher with emphasis on the puncher. He's a puncher, but he's more of a counter puncher. And he's also a very well-rounded boxer because he can fight moving backwards. He can fight moving side to side. He's not as great moving side to side, but he does it well for somebody like Ryan Garcia that's not even on their skill level yet, where you've gotten to the point where you've mastered so many aspects of boxing that now you want to start moving side to side. Garcia is not even there yet. And Garcia, in the beginning, he had the right. I think what he had to do was to throw a lot of punches. But the problem is he's only really good at one type of punch, just the left hook. His straight right is a little bit underdeveloped. His jab is okay. His left hook is okay. Everything else is kind of underdeveloped. His movement is underdeveloped. He doesn't even have a right hook at all. So it was just a matter of time. And I'm not saying Davis is all that because Davis is beating the fighters that they put in front of him. But I didn't think that Garcia was a hard fight for Davis. There's a lot more harder fights out there, more experienced fighters. This one is kind of predictable. It was a good night of boxing. I enjoyed it. The right man won, but you should have known that. I had no doubts that this was going to be a knockout. That's what I bet on. I wasn't even going to make that much money, but I just know what's going to happen because I could just see it. It's just two different classes, okay? But they made a lot of money. I'm glad the two young men made a lot of money. Shout out to Garcia. He had a lot of heart. But hey, listen, guys, for those of y'all that's going to be like, hey, it was weight drained. This fight was not about weight. The styles was obvious. Garcia just has the better style for Ryan. I mean, Geovante Davis just had the better style for Ryan Garcia. They're still kind of upcoming. They're still a little bit green, a little bit, certain tangibles in this game is still underdeveloped. So I'm not surprised at the outcome of this fight. I'm just enjoyed that I had a great night of boxing. We'll see what's next for these two guys. I enjoyed it. Whatever you guys think about it, put it in the comment section. Like, subscribe. Let's talk boxing. I had a good night. Hope you did, man. Hey, peace to your family. Talk again soon. One.